There's two things that are really important to me when it comes to wet dry vacs. Number one, that they're not excessively loud or like an annoying sound. And number two, that they can pick up screws or nails off my garage floor when I'm cleaning it. So today we're taking a look at this new one from DeWalt. It's model DXV12P-Q2A. This is a 12-gallon corded model with new quiet technology. So let's open it up, see how it works. All right, let's open it up, see what's inside. We've got a floor brush, a side caddy bin right here, some rigid pipe there. All right, this sounds promising, STEALTHSONIC. Here's the pleated filter. So here we have the tube. It's probably close to 7 to 8 feet long. It's nice and wide, so it looks like things won't get jammed in there. And we have a crevice tool. The caster wheels, just want to point out they don't lock. Somebody might ask me that. And then there's another nozzle end right here. I'll have to see how they describe this. It's a little bit different than other ones that I've seen. And then we have the round brush end attachment. And I like this right here. This is a big pre-filter. So instead of going through all those pleated filters, you'll catch a lot of the dust in this ahead of time. So it actually comes with 3 of them, which is nice. So this is model DXVA19-4102. A lot of times I'm doing construction cleanup, which means a lot of dust on the floor and drywall dust. And that stuff is very messy, and having a pre-filter like this is going to really ensure longer pleated filter life, which I'm very excited about. We're gonna go ahead and get things installed, and then we're gonna try it out. Many years ago, I was looking for a really powerful wet dry vac, and I went to Sears, and the Craftsman one that I bought was incredibly loud and annoying. I'd always have to wear earmuffs when using it. So a lot of times I just wear them anyways around the shop running different power tools. So I'm hoping when I turn this on that the noise level is going to be at a decent level where I don't feel like I need to go over and grab my hearing protection. So we'll find out. So it looks like all I need is a Phillips screwdriver to install this. All right, it has a really long cord. It's nice, the end of the cord here has a clip, which is great for storage. Yeah, that works well. And I just noticed right here it has a stretchy strap right here. So when you go to store the hose itself, you can pull it tight with that against that. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and install the hose right here. It does have a locking clip, which is nice. I've had some wet dry vacs that don't, and then sometimes you trying to pull this around and it just pulls that out most of the time. So the fact that you can just hear that lock in place. And it does have a bottom drain plug that's always very nice for your wet cleanup. So I'm just checking out this caddy bag right here, that's very nice. So it will clip in right there, or over on that side. It's easily removable. Or if you need to pull this around, it's a nice grab handle right there. And plenty of room in there to keep all your accessories, like this, like this, like this. All right, let's go ahead and see how the hose stores on here. All right, let's just see how this works for storing the hose. Just gonna put that around there a minute. Spin this around. And I guess that would go underneath there like that. And then with these longer ones, I wasn't sure, I don't see a place they could potentially go in here. Yeah, I guess that would work. There. So right here you have your all-in-one setup. All right, now we need to plug this in and hear how it sounds. I can't wait. Oh wow, that is quiet. That was very nice. Actually, the noise of the wind right there is almost louder than this right here. Huh, I like it. Yeah, we're like at 65 or 66 decibels. That's awesome. I have a few different tests we're going to be running with this wet dry vac. Before we do though, I thought it'd be helpful just to take a look at the box and check out some of the specs so that way you can see how it performs to the numbers. As I mentioned before, it's a 12-gallon wet dry vac, 5.5 horsepower. This is up to 50% quieter and more powerful than some other Select models. And this has up to 2.5 times longer lifetime than other Select models too. So it has an 8-amp motor. The decibel level is less than or equal to 65. The weight is 25.3 pounds. Has a 20-foot long power cord. The hose diameter is 2.5 inches and the hose length is 7 foot. And as you can see right here, it has a crush resistant hose, has a 3-year limited warranty, 1-year free service, and 90 days money back guarantee. Yesterday I made some sawdust with my chainsaw, and right here we have about a gallon's worth that we're going to put on the floor and clean up. So let's just go ahead and put some of the sawdust down. All right, as you can see, this is kind of a bigger pile right there, but we'll see how the vacuum does against this right here. Okay, there is one thing that I wanted to point out, and that is that there isn't a hose port, an exit, so you can't hook up the hose and use it as a blower. You have these two exit vents right here, and they have some type of foam on there, so you can just feel the air going that way. So I guess it kind of diffuses a little bit, so it's not blowing stuff across your room, which I guess is nice. So here's the test that I've been waiting for, and that is clean up the sawdust off the floor. All right, this brush is never going to look this clean, so here we go. This is a big pile right here. Well, that looks good. Oh, picked it up. All right, I'd say that worked very well. So I decided to grab some more sawdust and grab about 15 different items and put them on the top of the sawdust. Okay, so for this test, we're gonna put the crevice tool on. So now we're gonna see if this combination of all that will pull it all the way through and into the vacuum. So I noticed sometimes you just need to do that, lift it up a little higher to help it feed into that. So just want to show you the power, how it works, so you know what to expect. So overall, I'd have to say the power is definitely good. The thing that really shines with this is how quiet it is. I definitely like that. When it comes to wet dry vacs, we have another test that I like to do, and that is the 5-gallon water test. This bucket over here has 5 gallons or maybe just a little bit more of water in it. So what we're going to do is prepare this for sucking up water. So what we have to do is remove this paper filter right here. Okay, we're in the unlock position. Okay, so that's how that works. You just twist it to lock, and after pulling up all that sawdust, you can see there's not one speck of dust or dirt on this. So next thing we need to do is remove this paper filter. And this has all those nails and sawdust in it. So I'm pretty sure DeWalt has a foam filter, kind of like this one right here. I think this one's off a rigid vac. So this just picks up the particles in case you have a little bit of debris in your water. But since that's clean, it's safe for me to run it without this. So if I can find the DeWalt part, I'll put a link to it down in the description. And I think what I'll do, so we don't have any suction loss, I'll just use this straight up like this. Okay, let's go ahead and see how many seconds it takes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, so I messed up a little bit. I had it going straight up against it, which I think we lost a little bit of suction. So then when you're done, you want to drain it. You just go ahead, take this and screw it, let the water out. So I highly recommend when you're done with your wet cleanup to let this thoroughly dry out before you put all your other filters back in place. So now I'd like to hear your thoughts on this wet dry vac. Did it pass the test for you? For me, I think one of the most key things with this is how quiet it is. It's just amazing not having to have that super loud sound, which I have experienced most of my life, that really irritating sound. This is just so quiet, and it has a lot of power, so I'm definitely happy with that. So the one thing I wouldn't mind doing, I don't know if I could do it myself, is to get some locking casters, maybe at least 2 on here. That would be a plus because I live in an area that has some slope to the driveway and everything else. So that'd just be a small change I'd like to see. Maybe I could just do it myself. And what would be really cool is if this was offered in a hybrid, so you could either put a battery in or run it off a cord. Because there's sometimes when you're in your shop and you're just using it for sawdust collection, you might be burning through batteries pretty fast. And so I know for some people, they'd like to just have this plugged in and not even worry about having to switch out batteries. So if you're using this for woodworking, let's say you're hooking up inside your garage or shop and you're going around with like a 5-inch orbital sander, this is one of the handiest items I have for collecting dust, so you don't fill these, like the dust bag up in there, or clog the filter. So I made a couple video reviews on this, the Mullet Cyclone dust separator. So this is actually set up for another wet dry vac, but you can just see where this would hook up into here, and then you would take the hose and then hook that up to right here, and then this end would go to your tool. So it would get separated in here, and all the dust goes through that cyclone and just falls to the bottom. So this is really cool. So I'll have a link to this right here on Amazon, and this right here as well too. So that way you can read the reviews, get the current pricing on it, and see what other people have to say about it. So I hope you've enjoyed this review. If so, please give it a thumbs up and help support my channel. That's it for now, friends. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hey Leo, what do you think about that wet dry vac?